Greetings, my fellow servants of the God Emperor. It is the Ash Heritor, and welcome back to Rogue Trader. In the previous episode, we dealt with the whole situation on Footfall, and we have basically been tasked with leading an inquisitorial strike force to, I forget the name of the planet, but we'll look it up in a minute. There is an explorer fleet and a Space Wolf group there, and they don't seem to get along. Surprise, surprise. Space Wolf's not getting along with people. Never heard that before. So we need to go and sort them out. Thankfully we have Ulfar, and unfortunately I forgot to bring Ulfar into the conversation with the Inquisitor. He did ask for that, and there was indeed a comment that reminded me of that. However, unfortunately that episode had already been recorded. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Anyways, that'll happen. This is a blind playthrough, so my apologies for that. Anyways, we're going to continue on. We're also going to look a little bit more for the Three Sorrowful Phalanges questline. I have a couple of tips, so we'll see what we can find. And otherwise, I don't know with that one. Anyways, we have a little event here as we are traveling to the Omicron system, which is my first place I will look and see if I can find something.
Lord Captain, reporting. Shortly before our departure from Footfall, a group of messengers in luxurious garbs delivered a strongbox and several chests bearing the insignia of House Orsellio to the ship. I suppose the use of gold-clad servants instead of servitors was an extravagant attempt by the navigators to draw the attention of the rogue trader.
We got some holy gifts, that's good. We can give those to the Drusians, who are now under new leadership.
Considering the incident on the capital world, the Enforcer officers checked the Navis Nobilite gifts thrice. I am pleased to report that none of them threaten your Lady Cassia's, or the crew's well-being. Having said that, a closer examination of the strongbox by the tech adepts reveals a data slate with a vid message addressed personally to you alongside some encrypted data. We dared not touch them without your instructions.
What vid message? Show me.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
Vigdis issues several orders, and the vid screen of your personal cogitator springs to life, the machine's innards rumbling unhappily.
Rogue Trader.
A familiar piercing voice comes from the cogitator's vox system, and you see a bloated face with sagging skin and a gaping hole where the nose should be.
We, Great Regent Heritor Orsellio, send greetings and hope this message finds you in good health.
Yeah, we spared him.
House Orsellio will soon hold a grand council within the Palace of Atlas, the holy relic that connects all navigators of our house. This meeting will take place not in the physical world, but in the world of thoughts, dreams, and visions. It is the only way to avoid bloodshed and decide the fate of the sacred child at last. Thanks to the Atlas, we feel that the soul of the child is full of dismay, and yet the rogue trader's words bear a lot of weight with the child, so she may soothe its anxiety and lead the child down the right path. The path of accepting its duty before the house and ascending the Novator's throne. I hope you consider my offer, Cyrene von Valancius, for it is in your power to not only strengthen the bond between our dynasties, but to multiply your riches at the same time. The gifts accompanying this message are but an insignificant part of the great Regent's gratitude. May the God Emperor protect us all.
The vid screen shuts down and the Voxmaster breaks the silence.
I am told the message has been relayed to your cogitator, Lord Captain. I hope the data did not get corrupted during playback or delivery.
Decode the encryption hidden in the data slate.
Yes, Lord Captain.
Vigdis falls silent, and the Vox transmission fills the scratchings of a cogita quill and rustling of papers.
A messenger servo skull has been sent to the Omnissiah's servants compartment. Once the data has been decrypted, I will notify you immediately.
This will be all for now.
God Emperor protects, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, your presence is required by members of your retinue.
The Voxmaster's voice sounds tense, even somewhat frightened.
And I believe they will not accept a refusal.
Is this Ulfar being a little pissy with us about forgetting? If so, that might... Hopefully we can calm him down. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's the Gene Stealer cult thing. Maybe it'll finally start to happen. I don't know. But the way else she seemed afraid, I mean, that could be Cabela. That could be Cabela. Cabela is scary. Maybe not as scary as Ulfar, Oh, Irliet. Okay. Oh, Kibella. And Irliet? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somehow this is worse. The consequences of my actions. Kibella brings her hand to her face before beginning to speak.
Domin Cyrene, your road splits in branches, giving birth to many new trails. You cannot walk them all. Torn as you may be, you cannot cut yourself into pieces. Stop and choose which thread is yours, for there can be only one.
Kibella's stare feels like it could burn right through you.
Domin Cyrene, one cannot share their soul with many. A choice must be made.
Well, I mean, you can. It doesn't normally work out for most people, but, I mean, some people can do it, I guess.
I do not understand, Elantak. Must I truly partake in such a base ritual? The subtlety of our bond is not something that can be put into words, and certainly not something that demands proof or explanation.
Irliet brings her hands together in an elaborate gesture and turns away, but you can see that she is still warily observing your reaction. Okay, maybe we can actually... I mean, okay. I feel like this is bad. This almost... This basically never works. Somehow I don't think it will. Yeah, normally if it's like... Okay, I mean, I haven't been in this situation in real life. But normally, you know, you end up in situations where you're forced to choose between one person and another person. Like, almost inevitably, you're going to end up in some situation like that in reality. Usually, I mean, one would hope not for relationship things. It's just like... Normally, if somebody forces a choice, that's usually the person I choose against. Unless they have a goddamn good reason. Yeah. I don't know how good Kibella's reason was. There's basically no reason given at all. Aside from a bit of metaphysical stuff. And Irliet's just kind of lost and doesn't really understand. Also, the reason why I partook in, I guess, starting multiple romances here, that sounds bad, is because the Irliet romance is, like, very non-physical, which is cool to see in the game. But, you know, and you know, that I guess works for Eldari. And it can definitely work for many humans as well. There's plenty of people that prefer to have non-physical, non-sexual romances. But, you know, it doesn't work for most people, I will say. So, it was kind of like, well, I mean, Kibella's here all the time anyways. There's clearly some sort of connection. God, I feel like because they exist in completely different mediums, I have to try it. It's going to go very poorly, and that'll be the end of both, probably. And normally I would choose against Kibella here. I really wish you could see whether this is a decision thing. It looks like a decision thing, so I'm going to assume that it is. But on the off chance you can click on multiple of these to at least hear the reactions before making the decisions, I would like to know that. But I guess that's not something I can currently know.
What is the point of choosing? Can't we all come to an agreement that is to everyone's satisfaction?
It's not going to work with whatever I'm clicking it.
Do not insult yourself with such words, Domin Cyrene.
Irliet recoils, her lip curling slightly.
I told you I am not interested in your base passions, and you assured me that you were not driven by them. If a harmony of souls is not what your mind and heart desire, Elantak, then it is time to accept the truth. There is no shame in changing the path you have chosen. The only foolish thing one can do is run along the same path in the opposite direction.
Silence. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, at least, you can make the attempt here. I'm gonna stick to my guns here and pick the one that is not forcing me to make a choice here, which ultimately it wasn't really Iliad. She's not saying you have to pick.
Iliad, I will never trade the bond that you and I have created for anything in the world. A fleeting smile softens Iliad's austere expression. She nods wordlessly, for kindred souls do not need words to understand each other's thoughts and feelings. Okay, how's Kibella gonna react? No emotion shows in Kibella's expression. She inclines her head as if she were receiving a perfectly agreeable order. Yeah. The words of the tenets will never again trouble you, Domin Cyrene. Feels kind of bad. I feel like there should be a bit... I mean, it does make sense that she would be able to take it and be absolutely fine. I just feel like that could have warranted maybe a little bit more of a reaction. I'm gonna also check around my quarters. I haven't done that, and maybe we need to take a bath with somebody. I don't know. I know there's an achievement to take a bath with everyone. Who haven't I taken a bath with yet? Okay, address the Master of Ablutions. I wish to see someone from my retinue. Oh god, we have a lot of people we haven't taken a bath with yet. Okay, I've been told this one's really funny. Pascal, I wish to see my engine seer. At once! He's like, what? He's just sitting there in his full robe. Scotchitator. The, what is that thing called? The, mechadendrite harness. There's a specific word for it. An oily patch spreads slowly outward from the magos. The smell of lubricant fills the bath chamber. This receptacle is deemed adequate for the execution of the cleaning protocol. Pascal, why have you climbed into my bathtub? I have received an invitation to perform collective ablutions. Ablutions are impossible to perform without submerging into the bathing receptacle. You are leaking oil. This statement is true. The disposal of waste substances is an integral part of the cleaning protocol. Why are you taking a bath with your clothes on? It is prohibited to expose the true flesh in the presence of the lay people. My raiment will not hinder the cleaning protocol. Will you not rust? No, the Omnissiah has granted the sacred chromium resistance to the plague of rust. Alright, fine, you may stay. Pascal emits a satisfied binaric aria. I thank you for the invitation, Cyrene von Valancius. This ablution will be recorded in this unit's archive of significant events. Is it a significant event? Okay, finish the ablutions. Alright. I'm gonna bring somebody else in. We gotta clean this off. We gotta go in again. This is after we've purged the water. We can skip this. That's great. Let's see. You know, let's bring in Argenta. Argenta, I wish to know what the Sisters of Battle do in their spare time. At once. Cyrene von Valancius, are you conditioning your body with water treatments? How commendable. Allow me to share some of the water exercises I learned at the Scala Progenium.
What is she doing? Argenta does not wait for a reply, but immediately launches into a series of detailed instructions. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna... perfect! Argenta briskly explains how to stretch your muscles correctly. She makes you repeat each exercise multiple times as she teaches you the best way to do bends and squats. Her eyes are alight with righteous fire, and her voice rings out with conviction. She shows the same dedication to completing each exercise as she does to destroying heretics. Alright, I guess we're helping out here. We failed our test. The sister is tireless, but you do not have her stamina. Your burning muscles beg for mercy, and your legs cramp as you gasp for air. This is not exercise, this is torture. They're probably one and the same to the sisters. Argenta wipes sweat from her brow with an air of satisfaction.
Good work, Cyrene von Valancius. A healthy body is like a finely toned bolter, a worthy instrument of his will. I will take my leave now. Rest and recover your strength.
Didn't stand a fucking chance. Okay, I think we need to take another bath because we're all sweaty again. Alright, we'll finish here. Good excuses. Alright, I wish to see somebody from my retinue. Who's it gonna be this time? Bath with Abelard? I don't know, it's a little weird. You know what? Let's bring Jai. Jai, she knows how to have a good time.
Cyrene, I hear you are in need of entertainment.
Where is she even? Okay, I guess she's there. We just can't see her. Jai is invisible.
Well, do not worry. I have the perfect solution. I will show you how to combine the joys of drinking and the rigors of intellectual recreation into one incredible pastime.
Oh boy. Yeah, she's not visible.
We will play a game of regicide, but instead of pieces, we will use shots of Amasek. The rules are simple. When you capture an opponent's piece, you have to take a shot. Ready? Let's play.
We're gonna fucking die here. Allow Jai to take the lead so you can keep a clear head. Ooh, you intentionally place your pieces in harm's way, hoping to trick your opponent into getting drunk and throwing the game. However, Jai appears to be employing the exact same strategy. Damn it. Your clever ploy eventually succeeds, and you watch as Jai's eyelids start to droop.
Hold on, wait a minute. Is it your turn? Or mine?
Jai reaches for a piece and knocks it over, spilling the Amasek all over the board.
Tell you what, you could have this one, Cyrene. If I have another drink, I think I'll fall into this bathtub. And you don't want a corpse in your pool, do you? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, right. I think I need to get some air. Ah!
We've defeated her. Finish ablutions. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. We'll, do more later, I guess. I don't think there's anything else here for us. Just, being a regicide.
What a peculiar thing!
Huh? What? Goods? Excuse me? Celestial Eye. So this is probably heretic rank, right? No, veil degradation. Huh. This could be up to 10% more hit chance and critical damage. I mean, that's not bad. I don't have a use for it. Where's it from, though? Oh, it's from the statue. The sculptor's masterful skill is evident in every little detail of your countenance. Yeah, we got that from the that world, Thessera. Also, Maeve, you're here. I totally forgot. That is sad.
Would you care for a cup of freshly brewed recaf, my celestial lady?
I'm gonna ask her this.
How do you find life on the flagship, Maeve? Sometimes I stop and stand by a window and it's like I'm flying through the starry sea myself. I still can't believe this is happening to me. You are so generous, my celestial lady. I couldn't dream of more. You're not feeling lonely here, are you? Why, my celestial lady, I have you, and Master Danrock has been very kind to me. Sometimes he brings me all kinds of amazing things. The other day it was a book for little nobles. I learned from it that the stars are huge, too big to pick up and hold between your fingers, or even to hug with both of your arms. And when they dance together, they form entire galaxies. That's adorable. And Danrock's growing on me. Jesus. Can make her into a servitor? My god. That should give you heretical points, honestly. I don't even want to, like, have that in case I, like, accidentally click on that. Can I just remove that option? You need not fear anyone here. Dance if you want to. Thank you, my celestial lady. Sometimes I feel as if I've died and gone to the heavenly place of the God Emperor himself. You are so kind to me. Frothed recap. Extra sweet. So are we talking like a frappuccino or something? A double recap is just a double espresso? Double Americano, maybe? I don't know. Could also be a flat white. God, now I want coffee. What do I want? You know what? I could use a goddamn frappuccino. You can call me whatever you want to call me in the comments. It's fine. It's fine. I accept it. I normally drink cappuccinos for coffee. We have a nice machine, proper one. None of those little cups or pods or whatever the hell. None of that Nescafe crap. We make it ourselves. We grind our own beans and all that. It's nice. It's nice. It's great to have a good coffee, a good cappuccino. But every now and then you just want to, like, spoil it with loads of sweet stuff. So that's what I'm going for. I'll have a froth recap. Extra sweet. The cane spice sweetens it, and the whipped synth milk gives it a special airy softness. A sip of bliss on the gloomiest of days. Ooh, you actually get... Recaf with milk foam gives you extra energy. Increases the character's agility by +10 in the next combat. This is a one-time bonus that disappears after the combat's end, and presumably you can get it back. That's really cool. I want to try them all, actually. You know what? I will also have a double recaf. Black as a starless sky, strong as your will, my celestial lady, with a spicy touch to perk you up even faster. Invigorating tang. Strong recaf invigorates you, +10 strength. Okay, we don't really need that. Pour me some Amasec. I want to relax. Aged Amasec from the most remote holds, my celestial lady. To think that it is several times older than me. It's like holding time itself in your hands, sealed inside a bottle. Ease of mind. Okay, a glass of Amasec makes managing things more pleasant. This is the one I want to actually use. Alright. I must take my leave. Thank you, my celestial lady, for the great privilege of serving you. May the God Emperor protect you on your journey through the starry sea. Okay, that's nice. No, if anything bad happens to her, I will be upset. Hear that, Owlcat? We also wanted to talk to Jai. Because business with her is done.
Cyrene, O glorious son of dozens of worlds and billions of subjects, have you come to converse with Jai Heydari about the sweetness of her soul? Or do you wish to speak to a trade representative of the Imperium? Well, does the guise of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse suit me?
We're a little drunk. We'll flirt with her. You are beautiful no matter the guise, Jai.
It is hard to argue against words as wise as they are sweet, Cyrene. Except sometimes guise is mailed with the skin of their unfortunate owners. and the only way to take them off is to tear skin from flesh. That is not something I want. Not anymore.
That's good. Okay.
How's your gang faring, Jai?
Like you need to ask Cyrene. These Ashmags and Kashas are tenacious. They lick their wounds faster than the Aji themselves. Tora finally got an implant for her jaw. Now she can speak properly instead of braying like a toothless donkey. She's been recruiting strapping guys and gals too, because Falco culled our ranks. May the Aji savage the soul of that interstellar piranha.
Amazing. Okay. Kashas. That's cool.
You said you wanted to reflect on what has happened.
Oh yes, Cyrene. And here is what I think. Since the day we first met, I have been tossed about like a boat in a storm. Battered, dashed against the rocks, lashed by the waves. And then I was flung onto the shore, and a fabulous gift washed up beside me. A precious pearl of the deep. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. And you know what? I enjoyed it. Yes, I was slammed face first into the rocks, and was up to my neck in water. But I finally had a taste of freedom. Just a smidge. Just a little bit. But it was enough to make me dream of it every night. Void, crack and take the Kasbalika and the cold trade. As for our mutual business, Sherry, I will remain your loyal partner if you desire. An equal partner.
That is your choice to make, Jai. All I can do is support it.
Then it is decided. Starting today, I will sail toward the future I choose. What a thrill it will be to ride the waves wherever they want to take me.
All right. I'll see you later, then.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Dan Rock one more time. Anything with the 3 sorrowful phalanges? No. However, I think we can get a little bit more out of the Drusians again, because we have some more select tradable. 900, we do get to the next rank. Blade Wings, where I can spend all their movement points to move to any cell within movement range. Okay. This movement does not trigger attacks of opportunity. At the end of the movement, the wearer automatically performs a melee attack with their primary weapon against all adjacent enemies. That's really cool. Wearer always has the highest initiative. Okay, these are both really good. So Cyrene's already automatically going first, so I'm definitely not going to give that to her. Oh, we have some characters to level up too, so we should do that. So if y'all want to skip that, if you're not interested in that stuff, then go right on ahead. However, I will be... So Blade Wings is definitely going to go to a melee character. Thinking that could be good on Heinrichs. Notes on weakness was lethality based, correct? Could also be good on Abelard, to be fair. We'll see who has the less useful item. I could drop the auto-stimulant on him and give him the Blade Wings, to be fair. That'll let him just do... Yeah, it's a melee area attack, and he's going to be doing pretty good with the... I mean, that's... Yeah, Brutal Strike is... Yeah, this is going to be good on him. So we're going to give him the Blade Wings. In the Commander's Chrono, the wearer always has the highest initiative in combat. Oh, man. Who do I give that to? Somebody with bad initiative. Where can you see initiative, actually? Is that... I don't think that's actually something you see. I think it's agility-based, right? Yeah. So somebody with low agility. Is perception factored into initiative? I don't know. In my game, the one that I'm developing, because you do have intelligence and you have cunning, not perception. Those two both... Or, sorry, agility and cunning both factor into initiative. So, honestly, this might be good to give to him as well. The Knuckle Guard is honestly a bit outdated at this point. 5 weapon skill isn't much. This would allow Abelard to get in there. quickly. I'm gonna do it. Let's change him up a little bit. We have this Voidsman armor, which looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Who can use it? Medium armor. Somebody that can make use of perception, perhaps. You can make use of perception, and honestly, I'm gonna give it to her. Like, it doesn't look as good. What about this? Duelist uniform. No, that's with the 2 pistols. And Ulfar needs a helmet. Simple as that. Neither of these weapons, or neither of these helmets actually does anything for him, so we're going to give him the one that looks cooler, which is the beaky helmet. Do I give him a flamer? We have an Astartes flamer. I mean, now we can use it. It's an area attack. We definitely want to be sorting type in ascending order. So we have the Annihilating Astartes Bolter. We have the Bolt Pistol. This does what with the flamer? Okay, I'm gonna give him... I'm giving him the flamer, guys. You can keep the Bolt Pistol and the Chainsword. We're gonna try it out. Maybe it's not as good. Maybe it's awesome. Or we give him a Heavy Bolter, and we give him the other helmet. But it's not a beaky, that's the problem. And that's honestly not a sacrifice I'm willing to make. When you have a beaky helmet, you put the beaky helmet on. It's pretty simple, actually. Okay. Do we have anything else for anybody else? I don't think so. I think this is basically what we gotta do. So, let's level some people up here. So we'll level her up. Idira, you have a 2nd tier archetype. So your 2nd tier... What are you? Oh yeah, you have the thingy, the flap. I like birds. Raven, my god. I'm sorry, people. Whenever a psychic power is relayed through the Cyber Raven, it suffers 3 direct damage and gains... So, the Raven suffers 3 direct damage and gains +3 willpower and stacks? Interesting. I'm not sure about that one. Warp Buffer. If the Overseer is within 4 cells of the Cyber Raven, whenever the Overseer triggers Perils of the Warp, which will be all the time, it affects a random... Oh my god. Inside... Okay, so we do this. Idira needs to get close to people. That is really cool, though. So we're gonna, at the very least, equip it. It probably won't trigger very often. You need armor. Good armor. So we're not going to worry about the 2nd level thing. We're going to take... Oh shit, we can't. Armored hide? No. Uh-oh, I can't get the heavy armor. Thought I had. Yeah, okay, it's this one. This doesn't actually unlock heavy armor, so I think we need to wait. It's a little annoying. While moving, Servo Skull Swarms deal 14 shock damage to each enemy it passes. That's kind of fun. Impure Force. It's just a little bit of extra damage. What do we give him? I think more ballistic skill. It's currently sitting at 97. What's your intelligence? That could be better. We're gonna give him ballistic skill. I just like him to be able to shoot things with the plasma. Alright. Illigit. Bounty Hunter. Savor the kill. Whenever prey that is not being trailed is killed by an ally, the Bounty Hunter gains an extra turn with half of their MP and AP. The Bounty Hunter cannot attack during this extra turn. So trailed is from what ability? I think it's raid, right? Or no, I think it's the default bounty hunter thing. When they're marked as prey. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That's probably not super relevant. That's gonna be good against bosses. Let's equip that. You need more perception, I think. I mean, there's not... I mean, agility would be good too, but it's gonna be perception. Weapon skill wouldn't be bad either. No, your weapon skill is terrible. I lied. Perception it is. Ulfar, your turn. Well, he's got a flamer now, so... Is there anything flamey related here? The first single target ability used by an ally on the Archmilitant grants +1 action point to that ally. That's good. Awaiting orders. I like it. Okay, more weapon skill. Simple. Make sure he always hits. We got Marzipan here. What's Marzipan gonna get? Vivisection? +21 Lore Xenos? What is your Lore Xenos? Doesn't say. Tormenting Sprain. Whenever an enemy suffers from any of the Executioner's damage over time effects, dodges the Executioner's attack, all damage over time effects currently inflicted on that enemy now deal an additional 10% damage. I don't think that's worth it. Whenever a single instance of damage from any of the Executioner's damage over time effects deals damage equal to more than 10% of the enemy's max wounds, that enemy gains 1 stack of fatigue. So that could be good. Perfect Anatomy is also good. 13% armor based on max wounds. I mean, I like it. What about all-encompassing agony here? I vaguely recall that one being good. If an enemy suffering from any of the Executioner's dots is suffering from bleeding, burning, and toxin, all of these dots deal +30% more damage. So he doesn't do burning. That is very specific to, like, a few weapons or using a combination of weapons. We're going to take Sickening Pain, just to give him a little bit of extra survivability. And then we'll give him a, So Perception might be good. Weapon skill would be good too. But Perception will reduce the chance of enemies dodging him. So we're going to take Perception. Kibella. I'm sorry if you're mad at me. Bloody Trail. While moving, all bleeding enemies leave a bloody trail on the ground which remains for 1 round. Moving through these bloodstained cells costs Executioner 0 MP. Deep Lacerations. When using Scourging Strikes. Yes. Yeah, that sounds fun. Strength. Yeah. And Solomorn. Side by side is good. We'll keep that. It's nice also early in the combat for those initial attacks. So, toughness could be good. What else does he have that's quite good? His fellowship is surprisingly not bad. His agility is also surprisingly good, but we'll give him more toughness. Skill. No, toughness it is. That's everyone. Alright. So I'm going to quickly talk to Iliad and see if... I'll also talk to Kibella. They're both down here. I'm going to see if anything's...
Domin, sacred overlord of the Ark, my protector and friend. How may the Vizier of the Bloodspun Web, your shield, shadow, and blade serve you?
Okay. We seem to still be on good terms. That's
May
good.
the Undying One shroud your footsteps from the faithless.
Elantak? I trust your journeys were fruitful.
Alright. Nothing further there. Let's do some exploration. Alright. So these goddamn Orsellios are at it again, from the looks of it.
Lord Captain, an urgent report from the servants of the Omnissiah. They managed to locate a second message on the House Orsellio data slate, hidden in the shadow of the first one. As soon as it happened, the machine spirit rebelled and started devouring the decrypted data. The acolytes of the cult Mechanicus are performing the rites to appease it and slow down the process of annihilation. What should we do?
Display the message on the screen right now. The calm bead echoes of the furious clicking of Vigdus's augmented fingers. A few moments later, the vid screen of your cogitator shows the recording through a wall of static.
Rogue Trader?
Lady Navigator Elena, the one who staged an attempt to assassinate Cassia right in your palace, politely smiles at you from the vid screen. I have no doubt that your servants would find my trace. They are far cleverer than the ones employed by the great regent of House Orsellio. She does not bother to hide the venomous disdain in her last words. I feel extremely awkward that our first encounter took place under such unfortunate circumstances. Truth be told, I saw a worthy person behind the lofty title only after fate put me on death's precipice. You hesitated to end my life, despite holding it in your hands. Your noble deed gave me enough food for thought. Despite everything that transpired, I still believe we may become loyal allies to one another. I presume you already know that House Orsellio will be holding a grand council in the depths of that accursed Atlas very soon. We cannot ignore the call, for we are bound to it against our will. But if you convince Lady Cassia to reject the Atlas and break the centuries-old shackles binding our house, we could turn over a new page. Having said that, I will accept a different outcome. Should the child die, I am not going to shed any tears. I will accept any choice, Rogue Trader. My people have nothing else to lose, but you could benefit from our friendship. There are mysterious shadows dancing in Lady Elena's eyes. There is an emerald among the stars of Martianus. My gift to you for sparing my life. Head through the storms and torrents. Let's write and twice for then. Something then. The vid recording cuts short and you hear the Voxmaster's voice in your comm bead.
I'm very sorry, Lord Captain. The servants of the Omnissiah could no longer restrain the machine spirit's hunger. I hope you were able to see the vid message through to the end.
Well, this is now getting a little weird. Anyways, we're here in Omicron. We're going to go into Omicron. The warp jump was successful, but the Voxmaster reported the following incident. Beautiful blossoming vines had covered the deck and bulkheads of Loading Bay 6. 2 workers had bent down to take a better look at the flowers, and the vines had devoured their faces before strangling them. The bay was then sealed and purged. Fantastic. Isn't the warp beautiful? So I'm not sure if there's gonna be anything here. Guess we'll see. None of these have any names. I'm just gonna look at them all. We'll see. As we were off traveling to the stars of Martianus to go and find an emerald somewhere, Cassia has come to visit us.
Cyrene von Valancius, how wonderful it is that I found you here.
I mean, it's my quarters. Uncontrollable anxiety washes over your body, causing you to lose your breath. Cassia notices this, closes her eyes, and you are released from the grip of emotions that are not your own.
Please forgive me. My powers are sometimes too insistent in their attempts to break free from my control. You have made great strides in learning how to keep them at bay. I commend your perseverance. I came to deliver good tidings. I have spoken with the House's navigators through the Atlas. Of late, I can feel with increasing clarity how our connection is growing stronger. Despite the dissent in its midst, House Orsellio has been able to keep its precarious equilibrium, thanks in part to your unexpected arrival on Urak 5 and the resolution of the conflict at the Dargonis reception. Not all Orsellios concur with your decisions, but none can deny the impact that you, and no one else, have had on the House's present state of affairs.
Cassia nods gratefully, lowering her gaze, and clasps her hands together.
There is
there is more I wish to tell you. It is about the visions that I have come to experience at an increasing rate during warp jumps. The same visions come to me again and again and again. It is as if I am going mad. For you see, these visions are about me, the Atlas, and House Orsellio, the house's previous novator.
Sorry for the drilling in the wall. Somebody's been at it for months. It's very inconsistent when it happens. Sometimes it's literally like they do it twice in a day and that's it. I don't know who it is, but it's very annoying.
I have seen Tissiphane's experiments, the ones that involve the navigators from the Sethala branch, which she was rumored to have destroyed for her disobedience.
Okay.
But the visions told me an altogether different story, one where the Sethalas helped Tisiphone create the Atlas, and they vanished immediately after the experiments were done with. Perhaps I can... No. I know I can find the way to the Palace of the Atlas, if I recreate Tisiphane's journey through my visions. A real palace, not the psychophysical illusion to which the Orsellio navigators can reach out. I have always had a feeling that it truly exists in our world. Now, however, I know it with absolute certainty. I have been informed that House Orsellio will soon convene its Grand Council. Would it not be better to wait for it to finish first?
Actually, no. I'm going to ask her, what else did these visions tell you?
I saw Tisiphone experience an epiphany in a dream, just like my visions came to me on our travels through the warp. She beheld a planet hidden behind roiling warp storms. The world promised her great power, so Tisiphone gathered the Sethalas, her most devout followers, to go on a suicidal journey through the Tempest. I know not the details of what happened on that planet, but it was there that the Sethalas sacrificed themselves for an experiment of some kind, and it was there that House Orsellio obtained its Starway Atlas.
Okay, so the Starway Atlas was created through some sort of sacrificial ritual.
For the first time ever, I have an opportunity to find answers to the questions my mentors so deftly avoided. Why did Tisiphone choose me? What is the Atlas? Is it true that House Orsellio's past is drenched in blood? Please, Cyrene, do not snap this tautly drawn string of destiny, my destiny. Journey with me in Tisiphane's wake to the distant stars.
I have been informed that House Orsellio will soon convene its Grand Council. Would it not be better to wait for it to finish first?
I cannot shake a certain foreboding about the upcoming meeting in the incorporeal palace of the Atlas. Troubling mirages have plagued my mind for many nights now, voices calling and cursing my name. And the more I use the Atlas, the clearer my visions become, and the voices grow louder. And the further my powers wane. I am certain that all of the house is experiencing the same, for all of us are connected. I can see my family's fear. House Orsellio is doomed to perish in darkness should I fail to discover the reason why the Atlas is weakening. And that reason, I believe it is hidden somewhere in my visions of Tisiphone.
Very well then, I shall help you, Lady Cassia. Cassia breathes a sigh of relief, but the look in her ruby eyes quickly darkens again.
The house is still watching me, both the renegades and the loyalists. I doubt that any of them will agree to even a brief armistice for the sake of learning the truth about the Atlas's origins, and I do not wish to see House Orsellio lose even more life to another fratricidal skirmish. No, I shall go after the answers about our own past on my own.
If you wish to show the house your strength and undauntable spirit, invite the renegades to be the first to touch the secrets of the Atlas they loathe so much. You are standing on the cusp of a great discovery for all House Orsellio. Inviting the Regent seems like the sensible thing to do. Or we do go alone. I'm gonna trust her. I don't trust either of them, to be honest.
Then it is best we go alone.
Cassia's shoulders relax a little.
Thank you for your understanding, rogue trader. And now permit me to take my leave. I must start preparing for the journey. From what I have been able to glean, we must first travel to the Her ruby-red eyes widen in astonishment. The Orsellio prophecy system. Odd, that. Could it be that the historical records are lying, and Calain Orsellio is not whom the star system is named after? Either way, that was the system from which Tisiphone embarked on her journey, and we are going to follow in her long-forgotten footsteps.
Alright. Well, yeah, I was always wondering why that system was indeed called the Orsellio prophecy system. Now we know. We may have already gotten that knowledge from somewhere, but I don't recall. Anyways, let's be off once again. I'm looking for a couple of star systems as well, but right now I think we're just gonna follow this this thread. Because, I mean, we may as well. We've been pulled into it. Okay, so we're in Trinitos. We don't need that. Then we go up to Orsellio... Telecos Epsilon. So there's two systems there that we want to go to. What was the other one called? A different name. That one. The Stars of Martianus. But anyways, we need to go to Orsellio Prophecy, which is right here, so we'll do that. Okay. Well, let's have a quick look. See what there is to be found here. Okay, here we are. Before you is a burning world, an inhospitable place at the mercy of a perpetual inferno due to its suffocating atmosphere in close proximity to the system's star. The firestorms on its surface never cease. What could the Kasbalika be looking for in such a place? Utilize the full capabilities of the augurs to locate something unusual on the planet. So this was Kasbalika? After many long hours spent analyzing the augur data, the tech priest noticed something unusual. A number of constructions of artificial origin can be detected under the planet's surface. They are too vast and peculiar to have been created by humans, but their geometric shapes and other properties clearly indicate they were put together by sentient beings of some kind. Necrons? Unfortunately, there are traces of human activities next to the mysterious constructions. It looks like somebody found a way to land on the planet and set up an archaeological dig. These ancient monuments have been stripped of anything of value or interest, but other burning worlds may yield new discoveries. This is not what we were looking for. Okay, I get what, they mean. Okay, so just a new route has opened up. I'm gonna reduce this to unsafe. And then we're just gonna take it, and then we'll get new navigator's insight, because this is actually a new planet, so that's nice. Oh, here we go. Sector Coronis Expanse, Region Orsellio Prophecy System, Location Sanctum Navis, Exterior Observation Chambers, Material Witness Interrogation Vox Records conducted by Upper Deck Enforcers. Entry A201.48.66, 10 chronometer turns since the incident. Enforcer. Witness Haida on 001-10101. You claim that you left the Sanctus Navis on the Lady Navigator's orders. Haida on. We're just going to call him Haida on, because I don't want to do that every time. Affirmative. This unit acted in accordance with Maintenance Protocol TRN-08353. Step 1. Sense the sacred mechanisms for the duration of 15 chronometer turns. Step 2. Enforcer. You failed to inform the bridge about the imminent jump. I want to know why. Haida on. Data unavailable. The Lady Navigator ordered that she be connected to the Void Ship, but she did not order the preparation of the machine spirits for the warp translation. Cause: a ritual that cannot be identified by the unit's capabilities. This unit received the command to interrupt protocol TRN-08353 and exit the Sanctum Navis. Next entry. Entry M-001.87.23, 30 chronometer turns since the incident. Servant. No, please, not the fingers. Enforcer. I'm gonna break
Every word of a... or I'm gonna break one for every word of a lie I hear coming from your mouth. Now talk, servant.
Please, you have to believe me. All we did was prepare the canvas and mix the Lady Navigator's blood into the paints. Then we were told to lock open the shutters so that the Lord Captain could see everything that was going on inside the Sanctum Navis from the observation chambers and...
Enforcer. Grok shit. Armor glass can't shield you from warp horrors. Servant.
I swear it on my soul and the Golden Throne, Master Enforcer. The Lady Navigator only wanted to paint a picture for a ritual or some such. That's all I know. She wasn't going to use the power in her eye, but I still got as far away from there as I could. That's all I saw, I'm telling you.
Next entry. Alright, something not great happened. Ooh, creepy. Cool. 50 chronometer turns since the incident. Senior Enforcer. We performed an emergency warp jump, barely activated the Geller field in time, and are now being dragged to Throne knows where by an unknown force. The Lady Navigator and the Lord Captain are still unaccounted for. Now tell me, one more time, what transpired in the Sanctum Navis? Enforcer. I escorted the Lord Captain to the observation chambers and yelled at the servant for leaving the shutters open, but then I was told it was on the rogue trader's orders. We could see the Lady Navigator clearly through the armor glass. She was lost in thought, staring at the canvas in front of her. She looked like she was completely unaware of the world around her. Soon the servants were ordered to leave the Sanctum Navis, and the Lady Navigator picked up her brush. Entranced, she started dragging it across the canvas, painting one image over another, and another over the last, and another. The Lord Captain noticed it. There was a thing on the other side. The picture, covered in a layer of fresh blood, was coming to life. But the Lady Navigator was oblivious. That was when the Lord Captain... Okay, so we have a bit of... She painted something into being. This may be the entity in the Atlas. I don't know. The source of the Atlas's power is probably some warp entity. Called out to Lady Cassia. We're going to start off with something more mild here. Startled by the Lord Captain's cry, the Lady Navigator answered. That's when I realized it. The armor glass between us and the Sanctum Navis was gone, and the things in the painting, they broke free. What happened next? I barely remember a thing. There was a bright flash, a purple blur. I remember feeling so scared that my knees were shaking. I remember my legs carrying me away like they had a mind of their own. As I ran, I heard screams behind me. The Lord Captain and Lady Cassia, they... Oh, God Emperor, the creatures, they pulled them both inside the painting. Sir, Voxmaster, or Mistress Voxmaster, I have a report that needs to be delivered to the senior officers. The Lord Captain and the Lady Navigator were lost during the emergency warp jump. Their whereabouts are still unknown. I'm sending you the interrogation reports. End of recording. Okay, so that's not good. Sector, no data. Region, no data. Location, no data. Material relation of the Lord Captain's personal account recorded by no data. Note, strictly classified. Access protocol holder, Cyrene von Valancius. House Orsellio's ritual did not go as planned. The warp disturbance triggered by the Lady Navigator's trance washed over the Sanctum Navis. The void ship's machine spirits reacted to the surge of the Immaterium and interpreted it as a call to action. Thus did the emergency jump into the unknown begin. Amid the shrieks of sirens, the clanging of shutters, and the distant hum of the warp engine, some unknown will pulled the Lord Captain into the Sanctum Navis, towards the creatures from the living canvas that had already gripped the Lady Navigator's throat. Horrified, almost out of breath, and struggling to scream, Cassia reached out her hand and began slowly sinking into her own painting. I guess we'll weapon skill this. Oh, wait, why are we... I don't understand. Sometimes we're stuck with our own stats. In instances where we are on our own, we are stuck with our own stats in gameplay, and I think that's perfectly reasonable. Yet here we can use Heinrich's. Was Heinrich's with us? That should have been mentioned. Alright, well, anyways. Snatched a dagger from the floor and started hacking at the hands reaching from inside the painting. Yeah, it's just weirdly inconsistent. The ritual dagger of House Orsellio cleaved the billowing shadows, and yet the painted hand reformed itself the moment after the blade passed through it. Cassia went limp in the clutches of her horrific creation, and was immediately pulled to the other side of the painting. A moment later, Cyrene von Valancius, still clutching the dagger, was likewise plunged into the depths of the world the Lady Navigator had created. Oops. Cyrene awoke. Finding herself in the middle of a gigantic, boundless, billowing nothingness, her body felt weightless, floating in a void strewn with hundreds of the Lady Navigator's colors, some of them bright, warm, and alluring, others morose, cold, and heavy. The Lord Captain reached for the bright colors. Cyrene plunged into a river of bright hues, and flashes of rosy sunset and lilac carried her down the dazzling stream. Before long, the Lord Captain was standing in an idyllic garden permeated with the fragrance of flowers and the singing of birds. Servants in purple livery darted back and forth, attending to the withered old woman in the navigator's mask. Sitting on her lap and smiling coyly to everyone was a little girl with ruby eyes and white hair. So the old woman is probably Tisiphone. So is Tisiphone still alive? In the Atlas?
Be a good little girl, my child, until the day we meet again.
With trembling hands, the woman handed the girl to a navigator in laboratory attire.
I am out of time. Prepare the child for the Atlas transfer, and destroy all records and mentions of the world of Ir TV. None must learn of that which took place here. And remember, her body must grow strong for it to accept my power. And once I have returned, loyalty will be rewarded.
Christ, the Atlas is going to possess. She's going to get possessed by Tisiphone. The memory dissipated and a gust of silvery wind hurled the Lord Captain back into the ocean of nothingness. But this time, the nothingness felt dismal. Instead of bright hues, all it contained was shadows of invisible monsters swimming by, shrouded by a nebulous veil of unfathomableness. We'll swim towards the dark colors. Grayish-blue waves swallowed the Lord Captain, and the feeling of lightness disappeared as her limbs grew heavy again. Cyrene fell on the hard floor of a laboratory cluttered with vats as tall as a human. I mean, I think we remember this place. Inside were dozens, hundreds even, of repulsive mutants. Some had no arms or no legs, or 2 heads or no face, or their innards turned inside out. But each had white skin, white hair, long clawed limbs, and ruby eyes. Oh man. All Cassia's cloned. My lady, the child is born, so she's a clone, I guess. The tall old woman approached one of the vats.
Greetings.
Stable.
Mutations.
None were detected at any of the stages.
Genes.
Identical, my lady.
Chances of survival.
100 times higher than any of the previous experiments.
How long will it take to grow this child?
I fear accelerating the process might cause the body to fail. The only one after years of silence. No, the only one after years of silence.
I understand the situation. Natural growth. I do not have that much time. We will have to go with the backup plan.
Yes, Novator, it must be done. The memory dissipated. Okay, and we're back here again. Alright, then I guess we'll close our eyes and remain adrift in the weightlessness. Cyrene von Valancius stayed in the ocean of nothingness, devoid of any sensation or emotion, until an ornate ritual dagger floated before her eyes and reminded her of the world that once seemed more real than this one. Someone's scream broke the delicate equilibrium of the Lord Captain's motionless body, and weightlessness released her. She plummeted into the maroon abyss of roiling illusions, but was now in full control of her body once again. Then, Cyrene descended into the abyss, towards the screams. Ooh. Cool. Tisiphone. All these other faces. Some of them look like Eldar. At least they got knife ears. Very creepy. The Lord Captain crashed from an unmeasurable height to the bottom of a roiling abyss. In the next moment, Cyrene saw 2 figures amidst the billowing maroon mist. One of the figures, unnaturally gaunt and tall, was clutching the other, smaller one in its claws, screaming furiously. Let's peer... the Lord Captain peered into the strange maroon mist. In the swirling mist all around her, Cyrene von Valancius could make out human faces stricken with torment. Not just human faces, there were Xenos, Eldari. Yeah, indeed. Their features fused together with those of humans, which made the Crimson Spectres look all the more abominable. Their gazes and their rage were directed at the 2 unmoving figures facing each other. The Lord Captain drew closer to look at the figures. One step was all it took for some unknown force to direct the Lord Captain, seize her and drag her through the painting's twisted space. Now the Lord Captain could clearly see the dark shade of the long, dead navigator leaning over Cassia. Clutching her neck in its clawed fingers, the shade screamed,
You were given life because of me. You survived because of me. And here you are now because I have willed it so. Bow before me. Tell me what I wish to hear, and your suffering will end. Go on, child. I have waited for so long. Submit to me.
Uh-oh. Cassia looked exhausted, her body covered in hundreds of thin cuts, her lips lacerated, claw marks on her cheeks. Yet there was a steadfast resolve in her eyes.
I know who you are, Tisiphone Orsellio. I know what you crave. I saw it in the visions that you sent me again and again. I won't allow you. I will never allow you to become me.
Cassia's fatigued voice quivered, but she was not about to yield in this battle. We can persuade here? Maybe it's better if, indeed, she does it herself. The Lord Captain urged the Lady Navigator to fight the monster to the bitter end. The Lord Captain's words attracted not just Lady Cassia's attention. Tisiphone Orsellio, finally noticing the presence of a living creature in that bizarre world, turned to face the interloper and lunged forward, seething with rage. When the entity's claws were millimeters from the rogue trader's throat, Cassia opened her navigator's eye, and a wave of unbridled warp energy obliterated Tisiphone's specter before she realized what was happening. The Lady Navigator graced the Lord Captain with a tired smile. The abortive ritual had turned out to be a trap set for Lady Cassia by the previous novator of her house. But the rogue trader had ensured that her plan fell to ruin, and now it was time to desert that accursed place. Cassia took the rogue trader's hand and guided her through the maroon mist and out of the painting. Their unconscious bodies were discovered in the Sanctum Navis 20 Terran days after their disappearance, as soon as the rogue trader's void ship had emerged from the warp in an unknown system. Interesting. So we were literally gone. And here we are. Uncharted system. Chart new routes. Anything new? No. But, at the very least, got our navigator's insight back, and we'll check out what the hell is here. I don't think we've seen the end of her. Tisiphone. Got 2 planets. A purple sun. Won't you come? Sorry, that was black hole sun. And purple sun. I think it's Turin that always sings that when they cast the Purple Sun spell in Warhammer 3. And I watched a lot of Turin, so it's stuck in my head. Augur's Anomaly. Another burning world. This time the fires come from within the planet. The perpetual volcanic activity creating powerful cyclones of gases, ash, clouds, and soot. Now that you know what to look for, your augurs easily locate traces of the mysterious underground construction. So this is, again, these burning world things. So we can send sacred machines to explore the peculiar constructions. The operation is difficult, but proceeds without a hitch. The machines make way to the unusual constructions and return carrying priceless samples. Seemingly uninteresting, these plates and weaves of heat-resistant material cause great excitement among the tech priests. Of course they do. The explorers are convinced that you are holding artifacts of a unique ancient xeno-civilization the crew is now calling the Builders from the Flame. Pretty sweet. Receive 4 ceramite plating. That's armor kit. Okay. These creatures were accustomed to the incredibly high temperatures of the burning worlds. They may have been a silicon-based life form or even sentient colonies of bacteria. More evidence is required if the research is to continue. Interesting. Okay, that is kind of cool. We'll check this one out. I'm not sure what this might be. Down we go. Palace of the Atlas. Alright. Well, I guess we're bringing Cassia. We're entering unknown territory. We may be forced to do some heresy, so let's leave Heinrichs behind. We should probably also leave Argenta behind. Abelard should be in control of the ship. We'll bring Jai, because this seems like something she might like. I'm going to bring Irliet. I'm also going to bring Marzipan. And, I'm going to need somebody with some demolition. and athletics, I think, so we'll bring Ulfar. Right? Seems reasonable. Okay. A true dream team. I think everyone here gets along really well. I say that anytime I bring Marzipan anywhere. He's just such a stabilizing factor, you know? Everyone likes Marzipan. Marzipan likes everybody. He's really, you know, the rug that ties the whole room together, if you know what I mean. Alright, what do we got? Cool looking. Very purple. I do like me purple. Okay, we got some tech nonsense down there. We got some, you know, let's go to the tech nonsense. Okay, what do we got? There is a barely noticeable imprint of a long, clawed hand on the broken cogitator screen. I wonder who could have done that. Well, so they're inspecting... So this thing was built from an Eldari prone world. The Eldari sanctum is blemished by a human presence. In the pursuit of ancient secrets, the navigators had no qualms about filling the ruins with machinery and supplies. Irlian's gonna fucking love this. This doesn't look like blasphemy to the Eldar at all. So we can climb down with athletics. So I guess the Atlas is probably Eldar tech.
Centuries of service and
makes sense.
practice.
Or the Orsellio navigators left no stone unturned in this Eldari temple. It is as if they were looking for something they just could not find. And this thing?
A job for me.
What do we got here? Elite marksman gloves, Drukhari equipment, 15 ballistic skill. That might
My
be
patience has its limits.
worth it, actually. That might be good. 15 ballistic skill, while not particularly exciting as gloves. That's not nothing. I'm gonna equip it, because ballistic skill isn't super good. That should help out quite a lot. And then we can get back up.
A space wolf never fails in their duty.
Very cool.
Always
Alright,
keep your eye on the prize.
well, what about down here? No, not happening. What about down here? Another one of these excavators. What do we have? Info. Decayed pages. House Orsellio need not know what is taking place here. The navigators are frightened enough by its power as it is. The last experiment left 3 from the Sithala clan without a shred of reason. Empty shells will bring no glory to House Orsellio or its lesser branch. We shall carry on. At last, we have managed to implant the artifact in the subjects who can wield its power. Perhaps all the navigators who perished in the agonizing torrent of energy were merely a symptom of our decline. I am tired of counting the dead. The weak have no place among those who have harnessed the Atlas. Their abilities have grown manifold and become significantly easier to control, and more effective at resisting the ruinous influence of the warp. It is all or nothing. Today is the day when my work is completed and the Starway Atlas takes its final form. The Sithalas have already undergone the operation. All that's left is me, the Atlas that controls them all. Today, I become the greatest novator in the history of House Orsellio, or I turn to nothing. The power is beyond compare. All it took was a whim to make the wretched Sithalas fall dead at my feet. It is as if I have a second heart beating in my chest, subjugating any with the ability to touch it. How regrettable it is that this power only extends to those Orsellio navigators who have accepted a piece of the Atlas within themselves. From now on, all children will be gifted with one at their initiation, and there will be no one who can match our greatness. I don't know, sounds like the road to hell, to be honest. It's not even paved in good intentions, though. This is just paved in mid-intentions. The heart of the Navigator's camp, this is where Symphony Orsellio performed her experiments hundreds of years ago.
Let us not dawdle.
Anything there? Can we climb up? We sure can. And we can do some demolishing. Uh-oh. Even with Ulfar... Wait. Where's Ulfar? Can Ulfar not climb a ladder? Alright.
And done.
It's okay, Jai did it. Plasma ring. Okay, we can fire a plasma shot once per combat. I wish I knew the stats on these. Grenadier's backpack. The wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. The first time a wearer uses a grenade during their turn, they have a 50% chance not to expend the grenade. Okay. It's not bad. We'll head up there now.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay. And there's a little more over this way.
I
Okay.
used to dream of visiting a feudal world. A land straight out of the pages of heroic chronicles. But now I dream of forgetting that place. The sooner the better.
Oh, Cass. I should have warned you we were going to a lusterless hall. And maybe offered you a drink from my flask before the landing.
At least Jaya is nice to Cass.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, so we have an Eldar Storm Guardian statue, I guess.
One, and it's done.
The ruined statues once depicted pages from the long history of the Eldari. Alright. Over here. Someone removed the data crypt from the dead machine to keep the house's secrets safe, and no information about the experiments that took place here. And leave no information about the experiments that took place here. Probably to Symphony would be my guess. Okay, so we got an Eldari chainsword. We'll throw that to cargo.
I always have a backup plan.
Definitely a, items that we've already got. Okay, Navis. Oh.
Halt, cursed child. We had to ally ourselves with the Xenos once more to stop you.
Who is it?
No matter. It is a small price to pay for the liberation of House Orsellio from the chains of tyranny.
They don't even realize that Cass might not want this whole Atlas thing. Oh. Well,
Begone, renegades! We followed the Atlas's call in your wake, child. Stand with us. House Orsellio will not trade to Symphony's legacy for the false idols of blind fools.
so is this, and what is this?
What is happening? Ah!
Oh! Oh no. Fatal tomato juice transmutation. Orsellio Renegade's representative.
Damned Xenos! This was not the bargain we struck. Thrones smite you!
The navigator whose skin is so thin that it reveals the muscles, bones, and innards underneath clenches his augmented jaw. Gold jaw in contempt. And we have the Great Regent's envoy.
What is this? The rogue trader and the traitors to the house have lured the child into a trap set by Xenos. I wish my eyes were deceiving me, but now I can clearly see that Great Regent Aronto was right to send us after your vessel.
Oh, this is a woman. Sorry. The sturdily built woman is armed with a pistol, and yet there are signs of exhaustion in her posture. Her face is hidden behind a gem-encrusted three-eyed mask, and her elaborate Navis Nobilite vestments are stained with dried blood and other evidence of recent combat.
I, too, wish to be enlightened about what is happening here. You will stop defiling...
Oh, it's Harlequin.
You will stop defiling the remains of the hallowed ground of our ancestors with your semblance of speech monkey.
The Harlequin's bright colors glimmer faintly in the dim light of the system's star, and the sinister grin on his mask only adds to his menacing and aloof presence.
The final act will soon unfold where you will pay for the deeds of your ancestors. Stay put and wait for the puppeteer to pull at your strings.
Why are there Xenos ruins where the Palace of the Atlas should be? Why is this place coated in an impenetrable black mist? I'm suffocating.
Cassia clutches her breastplate near where the Atlas is, her voice feeble and trembling.
Three-eyed monkey who sees into Shael. Or Shael. The taint of your ancestors has begun to consume your body and soul. Pathetic fools with an insatiable lust for power that is not yours. Ending your misery would be merciful. Taint? Do you mean the Atlas, Xenos traitor? Silence, traitor! The Atlas is a sacred relic of House Orsellio.
It is what elevates us above the rest. How dare you? The Regent's envoy abruptly loses her breath, with a groan as she clutches her chest where the Atlas is implanted. I refuse to accept this. Impossible. What is this place? We call planets such as this one Crone worlds. They came to be long before my time, back when all of the Eldari were a united people, whose empire stretched from one edge of the galaxy to the other. It is a world beneath the first stars, an unblighted world. I never thought that I would come to find one. I have nothing to add to the outcast's words, other than my eternal astonishment at your curious troop, monkey.
Alright, Harlequin is starting to warm up to us. That's good. I think we're going to side with the Harlequins.
What is this taint you speak of, Xenos? Do you not see it? The Harlequin's voice booms through the ruined temple. When you, monkey, discovered this Crone world, you tainted it with your crude technology, despoiled it of its relics, ruined all there was to the last stone. But worst of all, you sullied the souls of our ancestors reposed in their sacred vessel, the spirit monolith.
Oh, is that thing? He points his thin finger at the remarkable crystal floating behind his back, and the Harlequins around you tighten the grips on their weapons.
Like a sea of bottomless blue. Cassia looks around her with a stunned expression, her gaze shifting from one Xenos to another. I did not know that living things could exude such saturated hues. I wish I could paint this ocean a different color.
We'll examine the hovering crystal. This enormous translucent stone shares a strange resonance with this place. You can sense the energy emanating from it. Mysterious, restless, coagulated. It resembles a giant heart that has been plucked out of its owner's chest. Its crystal clarity is pierced by hundreds of dark veins that have taken root like a terrible illness. Oh boy.
How did the navigators of House Orsellio taint the spirit monolith? The experiments. Cassia covers her mouth in horror. This is where she conducted her experiments. Tisiphone. No. It's not possible. To consort with Xenos is to violate the word of the God Emperor. It is known to all that Tisiphone Orsellio executed anyone who showed interest in the enemies of humanity. Is that so? Then why is it that every piece of metal or fabric in this place bears our house's coat of arms? Open your eyes.
You know what? With the renegades.
Quiet.
The Harlequin's tone is mild, but it is not a request.
I am unsurprised that the truth is hidden from your gazes, three-eyed monkey who see into Shael. I realized it the moment I met the first of you, wretched, begging us to help you destroy your own kin. I sensed it within you, our ancestors' calls, their pleas, their endless torment. I knew that what you found was a Crone world, and I humbly waited for the day you would lead me to it.
What is the meaning behind your words, Athair, Troop Master?
You know the answer already, outcast. You have always known.
I'm going to address Irliet.
What was that about? What answer could you have always known?
Irliet glowers at Cassia.
So that is why. That is why your presence makes my soul shrink to the size of a river pearl and my throat choke in a collar of thorns. That is why your words seep into my soul like poison, leaving wounds that will not heal. There is a shard of the spirit monolith inside you, monkey. Twisted, perverted, invigorating you by making my ancestors suffer.
Oh, no.
They actually took a piece of the... Is this the infinity circuit of the Crone world? And do Crone worlds have an infinity circuit? Maybe not. I think it's something similar to an infinity circuit at the very least. That's not good.
Alas, you are right, outcast. The ancestors of the three-eyed monkey sought to command the power of the spirit monolith, and yet they suffered failure time and again. Eventually, they discovered a way to harness this power. A terrible way, torturous and unforgivable. They shattered the monolith into many shards and weakened the souls within, and then...
The Harlequin trembles with fury.
They placed the shards of the spirit monolith inside their bodies to empower their abilities.
I never wished to learn such harsh truths about my own house. Cassia buries her face in her hands, and you feel waves of despair spreading from her lithe frame, which suddenly appears as fragile as glass. Do we make amends, or do we say it can— no, if we say it cannot be forgiven, that might be bad for Cassia. I don't want that. Neither Theodora von Valancius nor Tisiphone was infallible, but that doesn't mean we are powerless to rectify the errors of our ancestors. You say that only because you wish to soothe me, she smiles faintly. The renegade navigator stares at Cassia in shock.
You are more than just a tyrant's heir. You are a successor to a mad heretic, a betrayer of the faith. You must be destroyed, you and the Atlas, once and for all. You think the solution is so easy, don't you, monkey? When you die, your souls become captives inside the spirit monolith. This process is deranging to our ancestors, who have served as the monolith's guardians for eons. It is equally agonizing to the souls of your dead, and the more monkey souls the monolith absorbs, the more volatile it becomes. The Eldari and the monkey have spent many a dance battling for supremacy within the monolith, and its integrity is waning. You sense it too.
Okay, so that's what we saw in the painting.
The only way to free our ancestors from the pain is to separate the monkey taint from the spirit monolith. My troop is here to perform just that. We all will play our parts today, and when the final act of this age-long tragedy begins, the monkey players will exit this world's stage.
Sinister shadows dance on the Harlequin's mask as he draws an unknown device from his sleeve. So, like, if the Harlequins want to kill all of the other navigators, I'm fine. Like, go right on ahead. Maybe not— I mean, I would prefer the renegades to be okay. They actually seem like they've got the right here. I'm gonna go with this. Is there no way whatsoever to separate the navigators' souls from those of the Eldari without killing one another? The Xenos thinks for a moment.
I do not believe there is. The three-eyed monkey have desecrated this place, and I will not put the spirit monolith at risk just to help them avoid the consequences of a lamentable performance.
Cassia is the inheritor of the one who bound the spirit monolith to the navigators' bodies. Listen to whatever she has to say. She is not the woman her predecessor was. Cassia gives you a grateful nod and turns to the Harlequin troop. I cannot change the past. It is true. Nor can I change the fact that my house is forever tainted with disgrace born of Tisiphone Orsellio's hubris. Yet, all of us here today have the power to change the future and halt the unending suffering that is drowning both your kin and mine.
You suggest that the monkey and Eldari change the future together?
The Harlequin leans forward curiously.
I must admit, my leading lady, I am confounded by your audacity. Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I like the Harlequins. Every time they show up, it usually goes well. Can what's his name show up? Nocturne of Oblivion? I feel like he could fix this situation. Can we get him as an NPC in like a later DLC? That would be, I mean, that'd be just swell, to be honest. My Atlas. Cassia places a hand on her gilded breastplate. If you can free the phantoms of my house from the spirit monolith, guide them to enter my Atlas. Their experience and wisdom will help steer House Orsellio onto the path of truth and allow generations to avoid the calamitous pitfalls of their forebears.
Kai Marag, my leading lady. The shards of the monolith are lodged inside the chest of every monkey bound to you by ties of blood. How exactly do you intend to return them? I shall use the Atlas to sever my subject's connection to the spirit monolith, and then I shall extract its shards from every navigator of House Orsellio. This artifact is implanted at birth, but that does not mean the ritual cannot be reversed. I witnessed its creation through Tisiphone's eyes in my visions. I lived it over and over again through the memories of the Sithala clan.
I can recreate the ritual that will return the souls of your kin to you and save my people's lives. Cassia, are you really capable of this? I am confident in my abilities, more so than ever before. Seldom do humans and Xenos get the chance to resolve their conflicts without violence. I second Lady Cassia's proposal. The Harlequin remains as still as a garish statue for several minutes. Then a mellifluous voice behind the mask says, I am willing to try, monkey. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you need to die, then you need to die. No! The Regent's envoy draws her pistol. I won't let you destroy the Atlas, even if it is the child's wish. Lady Orsellio, you are too young, inexperienced. You simply cannot comprehend. You address the future novator of House Orsellio, one who survived the massacre of Urak V, who has lived following an attempt on her life at the Palace of Dargonus, who has restored her house's stability in what scant time she has been free, while you, all of you, have spent years destroying it from within. You address one who has passed through the tempest of the Sea of Souls to the true Atlas as a rogue trader's ally, yet you call me unworthy, don't you? Young, inexperienced? Kneel before me and I shall forgive you for your insolence. Awesome. Orsellio was always loyal to the novator Tisiphone. Henceforth, it will be loyal to her successor, even if you see fit to lead us down a different path, my lady.
Okay, good. Talked her down. The navigator's voice trembles with reverence.
Are you done with your performance, monkey? Then stand aside and do not interrupt.
Alright. So what's going to happen? I predict there's going to be a fight of some kind. I don't think all these spirits are going to go quietly. Maybe they did, actually. Maybe it worked out fine.
I can feel it again, the tranquility. The ancestral souls have found peace, and corruption no longer endangers the monolith or this world.
Then the Harlequin's narrow shoulders now look completely relaxed.
Remember our agreement, Cassia Orsellio? We will soon meet in this place again so that you can give us the shards. And now, be gone from our world, monkey.
Okay. We'll quickly, loot all of these people. We have some bolters here. We don't need them. Always add them to cargo. And these we also don't need, so we can always add these to cargo as well. And we got some novice bodyguards. Same thing. Purified monolith shines like a guiding star, and waves of calm and relief wash over the hearts of those who step too close. Alright.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Got some goods here. What is this? Time-worn manuscript.
There was a time when I believed that I would lead my house to prosperity. In truth, fortune and blessings have long since been passing us by, as if the coronous expanse itself is trying to oust the Orsellio children from its bounds. If nothing changes in the near future, all of us will wither like night flowers at dawn, or perhaps face our ultimate fall. Upon my word, the Sea of Souls itself must favor me. During the last jump, I saw into the eye of a vicious storm. Within it, amidst the ruins of a Xenos world, was a treasure, mighty and dangerous, not unlike our power. And I found a way to reach it. I drive away the memory of our journey, and the cost that our house suffered. The ritual alone was no matter. The goal will be worth the price, and due effort is all that is needed of us. By the grace of the Emperor, we made it through that terrible tempest. However, the Eldari ruins appear to have dampened the crew's spirits. Those pitiful commoners talk too much. Tensions in the camp are rising. I should cut out the tongues of those who witnessed the first experiments. This information cannot be allowed to reach the ship. No, not just then. I shall have the Sathala clan dock the tongue of every lowborn.
Alright, this shows where Tisiphone started and where she went wrong. More Xenos.
My pleasure.
According to the faded glyphs, the statue depicts an Eldari hero who created 100 worlds and twice as many stars. Okay, so probably not a regular Storm Guardian then.
Is there money to be made?
None are better at searching.
And done.
The Eldari's gods once walked among them, teaching, guiding, and protecting them from harm. There were no boundaries between mortal creatures and their patrons. And we have some loot here. That's always nice. Staff of Orsellio Novador. Alright, castigating 10. Oh, the first use of each navigator power in combat costs 1 less AP. That's very good. 20 willpower, 15 deception. Okay, and it's got 2 of these traits. So that's quite solid. And then we have Open Soul Pendant. The first use of each navigator power in combat costs 1 less AP. Hold on, what? So 2 less AP. So Cassia, we just make her even more broken. I mean, alright. Makes sense. Well, we do that, and the Yuvath Glass Staff, I mean, I took it because it's Yuvath, and the Yuvath are fucking cool. They're probably the antagonists in the first season of Astartes. I'm gonna equip, I mean, it just makes sense to equip this. I know she can equip a secondary thing, but, I won't. We'll give her, something else here. Sword of the Norse Deflection. Auto-striking power sword. Plus 30 to parry. You know, I'm gonna equip that. She's holding it wrong. Maybe we swap. That makes more sense. Yeah, I like that. So you have to put the melee weapon first. That's what I did on the other one here. Alright. Cool. Yeah. There was that willpower pendant. That might be good on me. Though, what do I have? Int bonus dodge to the wearer and their allies. That is also quite good. And having that always active, because I'm in every single encounter, basically, is probably better than the other one. So, willpower bonus... Or increasing willpower can go to somebody else, maybe. I don't know.
1 and it's done.
This was a piece of an altar that the ancient Eldari used for some long-forgotten ritual. Alright. We're not going to bother the Harlequins further. Let's be gone before they change their mind. And massacre us, or attempt to. Okay, guys. This was fun. We'll quickly check and see if Cassia has any further dialogue to be had. Cool quest. I like the, thus far, the companion quests have all been pretty good. Sometimes a little bit confusing, but I think that's just the way how the, like, Coronus Expanse map is laid out. It's not always super clear what's what. I wish there was ways to, like... I wish there were... It checked off the planets that there's nothing more to do on. And, like, was a little bit more clear. Like, this was obvious enough. I just missed it. And that's fine. But, like, this Sorrowful Phalanges thing is a bit annoying. I don't know what to do. I went up to Jessavon off camera again, and there's nothing there. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that quest. Anyways, the companion quests are good thus far. Still don't know what to do with some of them, like Argenta. Maybe that's something we just encounter in the next act, I guess. It's possible. Anyways, we're gonna head to the Emperor's Palm in the next episode. But in the meantime, I wanted to quickly check if there was anything more that Cassia wanted to say, then we can round up Cassia's story. Hopefully we don't need to go and, like, actually collect the shards from the chests. I mean, that's going to be kind of gnarly, getting them removed, but... That also makes sense why they're all able to, like, commune through this thing. It's all pieces of a singular thing that's, like, connected to each other. It's kind of cool, actually, the way how they tied all of that together. But the Starway Atlas was this Eldar kind of infinity circuit-like device.
How nice of you to grace me with your presence. I was just thinking back to our journey to the Palace of the Atlas. That is, to the world of Xenos. Remembering that most reckless act has enveloped my mind in a whole palette of hues. But When I think of the great risk you took for House Orsellio's and my own sake, an azure shawl instantly descends on my shoulders, and amber sparks flash inside my soul. Please accept my sincerest gratitude.
She's written really, really cool. Like, it's very cool how some of the characters have, you know, certain things about them that are just very different from how we understand the world, and how that regularly comes up in their dialogue. So her using colors and other, like, objects, things associated with those colors, like the shawl and the sparks, to just describe things that are kind of otherwise intangible. It's pretty cool. So, you are the full-fledged novator of House Orsellio now.
You of all people should know that succession is a lengthy and tiresome process. While my entire house is busy preparing for a grand council at which I am to ceremonially inherit the late Tisiphony's title, I have decided to remain by your side, to relish just a little more of this carefree liberty. For as soon as I am summoned to do my duty, we must say our farewells.
That's unfortunate.
What awaits the navigators of your house now?
The Xenos have managed to free the souls of our ancestors from their confinement. The memory and wisdom of those that came before us will serve our house, helping build upon the ruins of the present a firm foundation for generations to come. I believe in that, as I believe in the divine light of the Emperor.
I like Cassia because she's like clearly a bit of a zealot, but at the same time, she's not super anti-Xenos. Like, she was willing to try this, which is cool. Not usually what you get from a dogmatic type of character. And again, I mean, I've mentioned it before in this playthrough. I don't think the Eldar are the enemy. Drukhari, sure. Eldari, nah. So now the entire power of the Atlas is in the Novator's hands.
I suppose so, if by power you mean priceless knowledge. As for the special powers granted by the Xenos souls, the navigators of House Orsellio will once again have to contend with their own bodily and spiritual limitations. However, I am undaunted by the prospect, for our line and our gene have never been weak. House Orsellio will succeed, and soon we will rise again, draped in white and gold.
Cool.
Of course. I will try to answer any questions you have.
What does your special sight reveal?
Reading Xenos' colors has always been a grueling challenge for me. The boundless palette of colors Iliad emanates is too painful to look at. Her hues are bright, blinding, unnatural, and very, very dangerous, Lord Captain. I would never entrust my safety to a being that screams so loudly and clearly of its alienness to human perception.
Is this just a random thing where she notes on other characters? I vaguely recall she could do that. Or is it specifically because we've gone down the romance path with Iliad?
I regret that I failed to see Iliad's designs through the prism of my own powers, Lord Captain. But now, I think I'm beginning to understand the Xenos' intentions a little better. Their lies, their fear, their fury. Now Iliad's colors are woven together in my eyes into a single, garish tapestry of alien emotions. And though its shining makes my eyes bleed, I see the way Iliad dissolves into the whiteness of grief every time she speaks of home. And the way crimson flashes electrify the air every time her betrayal is mentioned. Jai continues to envelop herself in the variegation of her habitual masks, changing her colors at will like so many garments. But deep within her heart trembles a timid seedling the color of smoky lilies. It is grimy, burnt, and covered in ash. But it is genuine. Who knows? Perhaps one day Jai will allow it to grow and blossom. The fire of a rising sun illuminates Ulfar's face. A blaze so incandescent, it is painful to look at. But whenever the fire subsides, even for a second, at once an undercoat of dismal grayness and repulsive green haze envelops his shoulders. No one around him notices it. But I see.
Interesting. Like the description of Jai, smoky lilac. It is, like, perfect, actually.
The colorful shards of stained glass have risen up and enveloped Magos Haneman in a swirl of speculations. The silvery glint of metal no longer conceals his anxiety, nor does his scarlet robe conceal his doubts. The Drukhari, Maradai, Eldari hues are always too bright. They stupefy the mind. But with this Xenos, I can only see billowing darkness where his heart should be. Nay, 1,000 shades of darkness, from a slate-colored haze to the midnight black of a starless sky. I prefer not to peer into the gloom of his colors, Lord Captain, lest it swallow me whole.
I do love it when you can have companions that are just, like, completely irredeemable. I love an evil companion that has redeeming qualities, or that you can lead down a path of redemption. There have been some pretty cool examples of that in games. But also just every now and then, just to have one that, like, no, you can't fix them. That's sometimes fun.
Cubella is bathed in crimson as bright as fresh blood, and its sight is all the more striking in the embrace of impenetrable darkness. And yet, there is no malice in these heavy shadows. They are impartial, morose, uncompromising, and ever consuming what weak flashes of other colors there may appear.
Yeah. Completely uncompromising. Alright, that was really cool. This is where I must beg my leave.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Alright, and this is where I will be ending today's episode. Very cool. I liked the Cassia story. And I think next time we're just gonna go on and direct the war effort. I think that's probably the best thing we can do. I might check through the ship, actually. I just hovered over Einrich here, and kind of reminded me, like, he's a character that gets introduced in the Void Shadows DLC. And he has something to do with the, down in the ship. He was definitely part of the Gene Stealer storyline. So maybe I need to look through the ship again? I don't know. I'll do that off camera, though. Alright, guys. I will, catch you in the next one. Drop this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Heritor out, and the Emperor protects.